So I've been doing more crazy stuff, of course, like always. But recently I rehomed like over a dozen fish. So I took the opportunity to go ahead and drain the pond down to as low as possible. The water is actually still draining because I wanted to do a really big water change. Since the last time we cleared it out, um, I of course took out all the water in the first round, and then I put all the gravels back into the filter pit, and I've been letting it run in for like 2 months, but I haven't changed out much water. And I'm guessing that over the last few months, the media inside those bins were getting washed out, and things were getting into the pond as well. So it was kind of dirty, murky, and also very green. I didn't have a problem with the greenish, but because I wanted to catch some more fish, it was easier for me to go ahead and change out the water and bring down the water level to catch it easier. But as you can see, the fish here, there's a lot of them, and although it's kind of difficult to see, it's just fun to kind of check it out. Okay, I'm gonna go down slowly. It's really a steep decline. I don't want to fall down, but here, let's get a little closer look at the fish. But if you can see, they're swimming around, and I'm just bringing the water up through that small pump. I'm letting it drain throughout the house, but I've changed out I've drained about over probably like close to 10,000 gallons already. I've drained that many over the last 2 days. So this process began on Friday, and we're just doing it slowly day by day. If we've gotten down to this far, as the water gets lower, what I really want to do is disturb the water and create a lot of movement so that it kicks up the dirt, and that way it will get drained out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to leave this here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it down, and that's going to help me maintain a little bit of cleanliness, because to be honest, I've let it gone a little too long without any water change, and while it didn't impact the fish, we still got a lot of sun, so we want to make sure that we can at least see some. So I'm gonna go ahead and might as well do it now instead of waiting. All right, so I'm gonna spray the water, and what I'm doing is spraying around the border and on the edges. So I'm pushing all the dirt down, and as the fish are swimming around, they're kicking it up as well, and hopefully we'll try to get it down as much as possible. All right, 1 second. So obviously this process isn't fun for me nor the fish. It's it's a stress-inducing process, but I'm gonna try to manage it in a way where the fish doesn't get too shocked. So what I normally do is bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit lower. That way I can get as much of the dirty water out as possible. And then when it gets down a little bit more, what I'll do is I'll let the fresh water go in and stir up everything on the bottom again and let it clean for another few hours. And then instead of just letting fresh water come in here, what I'll do is I'll run the fresh water into my small pond, and let the water dilute with the pond water in here, so there isn't too much chlorine. So once it dilutes in here, then I'll pump this water back down into the main pond, and that will, so if let's say I add in, so that tank right there is about, the pond is about 3,000 gallons, right? So let's say I add in 3,000 gallons of water in there, that will still be 50-50. It's like a 50% water change, right? So it's not going to impact the fish in the small pond, and putting that water in here, it's not going to change too drastically for these fish in here. So it's going to be a really good balance. Obviously, this isn't something that you do once every few months. I'm just doing it now because might as well do it now before the rain comes, right? And at the beginning, it's usually a little bit dirtier. And hopefully after this big water change, we'll be back to normal. And inside the drum filter in here, I've already installed a UV light in there. And we're going to use that to kill off some more of the green. I think by now there's a pretty good amount of bacteria inside these two tanks, so we should be okay. I'm doing an inspection of the pipe and the plumbing here. I don't see anything of concern. Everything seems to be pretty normal. It is a little messy, of course, because this is a retrofit, but in terms of compromise or damages, I don't really see anything. Yep, so as I drain down more water, I'll keep this recorded to get an update. Obviously, changing this much water isn't something that one should be doing unless they have some sort of a way to treat the fresh chlorine water. And that is just using some water conditioner if you don't have spare water in a second pond. So what you do is you pump the water in, throw the water conditioner in, and then it's going to remove the chlorine and the chloramine, and then that should be good for the fish. But yeah, you can see how dirty the water is, right? And this is mostly just algae and dirt. There isn't really plants anymore because, as you can see, I've removed all the plants, so there's really no plant matter in here. It's just algae and just dirt. So this would be a good cleanup. And yeah, there's a lot of fish, and it does look kind of scary, but that's why I got that bubbler there, just to keep the water moving. Alright, so this is about as low as I could possibly get the water without killing the fish. As you can see, they're pretty stressed out. I'm letting some fresh water come in, and then I'm gonna pump some more from the small swimming pool, but they look super cramped, so let's get more water in as soon as possible. Yeah, there's actually a lot of fish. I took like 13 out and I still have a lot. So this pipe is bringing water straight from the small pond right here. So the small pond here is getting pumped. You see that? I'm pumping it from this one. I'm letting fresh water come in, gets diluted in the pond. This one pumped it out, and it's gonna help stabilize the water that comes into this pool. I think the fish will be a whole lot happier. So that's it, and then we're just gonna let it run for a while, and then I'll throw in some water conditioner. That way it'll remove any chlorine or chloramine, but it probably won't need it that much yet. For fun, let's just take a closer look at the fish. I don't want to step all the way down because I'm going to slip, but let's see. There we go. Yeah, there's so many of them in here. And the shallower the water, the more things they hit, so I gotta put more water back in ASAP, but in a safe manner. the water from the small pond actually is warmer than the water from the tap. So it's gonna equalize things nicely. All right, let's take a closer look at the fish. I'm gonna extend the selfie stick out a little bit. There we go. All right, I'll come back in a few hours, see what's going on. Looks kind of scary. The scene looks kind of scary, but I think they should be okay. The last time I did this, there wasn't that many fish, so this time it's a high-risk procedure with a lot of potential things that can go wrong. But I think if I keep an eye on it, it should be okay. Here's where we're at in terms of refilling up the pond. I let it fill up quite a bit yesterday, and then right now, this morning, I also filled it up with like maybe another 2,000 to 2,000 gallons of water. And we're about, no, we're probably not even halfway yet, I think, because this spot is very large right here, and this area is just bigger. So we're about like almost 40% there. So far, the fish are doing okay. They do eat, so I'm not concerned about that. I've decided that I'm going to stop transferring the water from that pond, the small pond, because I've already done a lot of it already, so I want that pond to also be stable. And now I'm just going to let water go down slowly from the tap. I use the pump instead to pump the water back up into the media filter. So very little is actually coming out right here. I want to keep that media filter wet. That way the bacteria does not die. I think today was very warm and sunny, so pretty sure the pond heated up quite a bit. As you can see, the algae are starting to grow back already. I mean, it's already kind of greenish right now. So it doesn't take very long for the algae to start going crazy. But hopefully another day of filling up, and by the end of tomorrow, I should be able to get the whole filtration back up and running again. No death from stress, just to reaffirm that this is my crazy methodology, but it does work. No death so far from this large water change, neither from the big pond or from the small pond right here. Even though I've changed out essentially 100% of the water in this pond. No death in this pond either, and they're also eating, so they're extremely happy. That's a small update for this, and then we're almost done, so we'll be back to regular operational mode starting late tomorrow, if not Wednesday at the latest. For reference, today is Monday afternoon, August 19th. In the video, the water looks emerald, like a jade color. It looks really nice. Hopefully the UV light will kick in once I start pumping water through, and it will keep everything nice and contained. I do notice that some of my fish, even though they grow long, they're actually skinny. Or skinnier than I expected, because for example, this fish, last year by this time it was already developing eggs, but this year it did not. So that tells me that I need to feed more, get them fatter so that they have more nutrient to start developing those eggs. Likewise, the Karashi here from Izumiya has also gotten thinner as well. No egg development, but the body has lengthened, which is great. I should note that I was very impressed with one of my fish that I took out and put in here for viewing. Let me show real quick. So I have a terrazzo korashigoi in this pond. Let me see if I can spot it. Actually, it's all the way at the very end right there. So when it swims over, we'll see. But this fish is gonna be used as one of my breeding fish. And when I took it out yesterday to measure it, it measured at a good 26 inch, and the body is nice and long. It's definitely one of the best grower in the pond. It actually match up with the black or the brown chowoi that I have. So it's a big grower. The skin color is great. The netting pattern looks really nice. Let me see if I can get a close look at it in the video. I don't know what she's doing over there, and it is a she. So, but once again, this year in the big pond, she did not get eggs, which tells me I need to feed more. I thought I was feeding a lot, but apparently not. I guess when you have too many fish, you need to feed even more. All right, let me climb over here without falling into the pond. Let me see. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a nice view of this fish right here. See this fish? Let me extend that. Yep, she's down there. Yeah, that's her right there. There we go, she's coming, she's swimming this way. Nice long body, really nice color, very favorable for the variety. Yeah, she looks really nice. I'm thinking this fish by next year, 30+ inch, no problem. As you notice, the body's a little crooked, the spine's crooked, because guess what happened? Last year she was egg bound, and it really messed with her anatomy, so her backbone is really different. She has straightened up a little bit in the big pond, but it's never gonna go away. She's always gonna have that small little curvature, which is unfortunate, but it can happen with female fish. It's all right. We'll try to get her as straightened up as possible. At that flow rate, after one night, it barely got up a little bit, probably a couple of inches. We're gonna slowly let water in, but it's just a matter of time. And as you can see, the water's already starting to get that green color. The algae and the heat. Yeah, there's a lot of heat right now, so this algae is gonna go crazy. I'm just impressed by how fast algae can propagate and multiply. Let me show you guys what I've been up to. Since the last clip, I skipped a few days and I forgot to update, but I filled the pond back up, as you can see. And I've decided to run the pumps at full speed instead of at the lower setting, because I needed more flow. I think it would help a lot more. But the water is getting clearer, and you can see the third step right there, even though it's in the early morning. And this is because of two things. I killed the algae using potassium permanganate at a high dosage, and also because of the UV light. The UV light apparently is really helping, way more than I actually gave it credit for. So the UV light is in that filter, and it's doing really good. At first it was green, then started getting brown after I killed the algae. Now it's like slightly brownish tan, but I think all that's gonna go away, and then the clarity is just gonna come out. But doing really good right here. The high flow rate is also helping. It circulates the water even better. Anyways, as you know, we're still redoing all this thing right here. We painted the black cinder block with this like kind of like gray brown color. Got the steps up there on those the decks. You see that? 1, 2, 3 steps. Brought it up. Now my big project here is actually redoing this back part. If you recall, I had a lot of water flowing here with rocks and so on, and I've given away most of the rocks, so this is about all I got left. I put in 2 planters in here to grow a vegetable that we eat. It's called like a water celery. It's just something I like eating, and growing it here looks nicer. I cut down the bin so that it's at the same level as the wall right here. And over here, check out, this is something really interesting. I was gonna just put planters on here, but I figure, why don't I just cut through the concrete, make a giant hole, and then just plant some of the trees down here? Because then, you know, it'll save space and it'll look kind of clean and neat. But the concrete, as you can see, is extremely thick, right? Because I got multiple layers of concrete on top of the previous pool coping, which is like the siding of around the pool. And so I couldn't just break everything apart using a jackhammer. It would have been way too much work and messy. So I ended up coring the concrete with a special tool, and I'm gonna show you guys that tool right now because it's actually a really interesting and fun tool to use for this project. So what I have here is a special industrial heavy-duty type of tool or equipment, and this is called a core drill. So what it does is it drills and it cores into the concrete using a very large hole bit. You see that right there? And at the bottom of the hole bit has these diamond teeth right here welded onto it, onto the cylinder. And you feed it with water. We got a water line here. And this carriage block right here is it's got a crank. It's on the other side. You crank it up and down, and as it's going down, you just bring it down and just let it go and do its work. But this machine, I'm going to use it to core out a bunch of holes around this area and just plant stuff for fun. This particular bit is 9-inch in diameter, so it's quite big. But this thing can support up to like a 16-inch, so it's still undersized for what the equipment is designed for. Anyways, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on how to set this thing up because this is really interesting. But back here, most of the liners are gone, and this water just came from the machine that I was using. So yeah, it's just water here. The filter itself has been doing really good. Much better flow, much more high flow. This top deck right here, I need to finish it. I'm still waiting to get some more lumber. So the plan here is to core out a hole right here to plant something. We're gonna avoid the pipe. We're gonna move it over by 3-4 inches over here. Since the pipes are going down this way, we're gonna avoid it completely, so that's good. And then I'm gonna drill some extra holes into this concrete area so that the water can drain down at when it gets heavy rain. So something like this will allow the water to drain easily. You see it? That's a 9-inch diameter right there, 9-inch diameter. And this is what the blocks look like when they come out. I'm gonna drill maybe 4 of them in this corner because I want to have a big tree right here. So this corner is gonna get a big tree that's gonna give it a nice backdrop. This area, probably gonna core a few right here as well. Along this area, I want to be able to get a couple in here so that I can plant some trees along the edges. All right, so let's take a look on this side. The taro plant or elephant ear has been growing quite crazy. Look how big it is now. And we're planning on relocating them because what's happening right now is they're blocking the view, so the yard doesn't look as big because this thing's blocking it. The small pond is doing really good. Sorry, I got the net in the way, but let me see if I can get it out. All the big fish in here are going to another home, so they are relocating, and that's fine because we will be having more space for the small fish to grow out. The UV light is doing a really good job in this pond as well, and it's keeping everything nice and clear. When I netted up the big fish to put in this pond, so that's easier to catch them later on, I was surprised by how big they got. Like, some of the fish got extremely big. All right, we're gonna, well, looking at the kohaku, maybe I should do a little quick update on that. The little kohaku grow out and showa grow out. They are, I would say that compared to last year when I had a bunch of small fish, this rate of growth is a little bit slower, mostly because there's too many mixed up fish in here. So different sizes cause them to get delayed in the growth, because all the big ones will just eat them, eat all the fish, the food. But the kohaku, I got 3-4 of them that are losing the color. I think that's pretty normal. I got over 30, so 10% losing color. I mean, not ideal, but what can you do, right? The ones that do keep their color, some of them looking really nice, like that one in particular looks great. Oh, this one's coming up to say hi. Yeah, so these are the Ginrin and the regular Karashigoi from Dainichi, the yellow monkey line that we got late in 2022, early 2023. Doing really good. Let's walk over here and look at the baby koi for an update. So the baby koi are growing much better now. No more crazy deaths. I guess all the ones that were gonna die have already died. So now they're just growing. This is the ground of food that I got right here. So watch them, they just swarm at it. The size difference between some of them is just crazy. Like some of them, one of them is like just like 10 times bigger than the rest. Probably ate a bunch of little babies too along the way. Okay, so we've been changing our water here and just letting the aerator go. The water seems to be fine because the fish are doing okay. The algae are really helping. But they're starting to get to 1.5 inch. Some of them are like 2 inch. Maybe 2 or 3 are large, but the rest are like gonna be around 1 inch or so right now. So we're gonna just let them grow out. I'm not even gonna bother. There's not enough here to really select anything at the moment. I can't even see them anyways. So just gonna let them grow out and see. As you can see, there's a lot fewer now compared to before. But also because they could be hiding underneath. It's kind of hard to see now, but there might be a few that's very unique and different. The rest seems to be single color or undeveloped Benny. It might take a while to show up. Yeah, probably like another month or two before I can really get a nicer look at these fish. I'm just gonna continue feeding them, change out the water, making sure that they're alive, but I'll just let it do its thing. This is all experimental, so we're not gonna put too much time and energy into this for this year. This was just a test. Yep, so the steps are like this, you know, just going up. It's a little steep, but now I have access to the panels easier for controlling the water and so on. And my pumps are like all running at high speed, so much more water flow. It's probably gonna be another few days before I can see the bottom of the pond at the deepest end. I'm feeling that the algae really is getting cleared up, and if I change out more water, we'll get rid of all the dead algae, and we should be good. Yeah, but that's basically what I'm doing right now, and hopefully we can start working on the back here to make it look nicer.